Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of Men and Women Talk the Mars Venus Show. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California. And this is episode 164, and I'm joined by my co-host, Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
Yo, you might need to roll that back. No lovely, no beautiful, no wonderful co-host, just my co-host. Can y'all tell who is real in these streets? I'm good, though.
Yeah,
How are
get
you
it together.
I am doing great, and of course you're beautiful, you're lovely, and all of that.
The afterthought. You see how people do you, Dany?
So
I've seen it.
So I'm glad that you're here, and we're joined by the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful, the magnanimous, funny.
The
Dany
undefeated
Redwine.
I got my nails did too.
Look at that. Look
Go
at Dany Redwine.
I feel like a woman.
Hey man, those are essential workers. I'm just saying.
Yes. And we need to get paid more for our essentialness.
Right. And
Because I mean, this COVID is real and people are dying out here, and we get up and go to work and still try to make it happen without driving ourselves cray, living in fear of dying.
yeah, man. So we were supposed to do another type of show, and we're gonna push that back to next week. And Dany,
we won't scoot it all the way to September.
And Dany was so sweet enough to join in with us, and we're just gonna have a free flowing conversation with Dany. And so much is going on in the world, obviously with protests and all of that kind of stuff and COVID. And then also you have these other like kind of stories going on. There's actually a story going on in stand-up comedy. I don't know if you know about this, but do you know about the comedian that's in trouble?
Which one?
Right.
His name is the guy Chris D'Elia. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so this is comedian. For those who don't know, his name is Chris D'Elia. He's about 40-something years old.
And when you see him, you're gonna be like, "No, not that dude."
Right.
That's gonna be your reaction.
And Chris D'Elia he's a funny guy. He's based out of Los Angeles. He's been on the Whitney Cummings show, Workaholics. He was just on the second season of You, which is hilarious because he's in trouble because all these 16, 17, 18-year-old girls said that he's been DMing them and trying to groom them for sex. And he was just on the second season of You, where he played a stand-up comedian who was doing the very same thing. And I mean, I'm like this. He probably should have just claimed that he was doing research for the role, but
He shouldn't have done that either.
And so like all these
That's a good joke. You need to write that shit down.
Right. And the crazy thing though, how it happened was this one girl who's not, I think she's like 21 now. She just tweeted, it's ironic that they would cast her to play a pedophile on this TV show, You, how the irony.
Well, clearly he wasn't playing.
Right.
Like, not at all. He was really
He was for real.
He was method.
He was like, yeah, I definitely got this part. Most definitely.
Right. And all these girls came out of nowhere showing email and the DMs and all of this. And this guy was like,
no, man, I'm telling you, when it rains, it pours. And social media is a savage beast.
Man, I mean, all his business is out there.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to own up to it all. If Lord forbid, if I'm supposed to be seen by a lot of people and some people trying to come back and say some shit, I'm just going to blaze myself first. I'm just gonna be like, yep, I did this and that, and this is what it was, because they are gonna find it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they, he's pretty much canceled.
And put it out there.
Yeah, he's pretty much canceled right now. I mean, CAA dropped him. His agency.
You can't solicit young teenagers. Like,
at all. And think it's okay.
At all. Like, what type of weirdo shit is that?
Right. And if you read the back and forth, it's so creepy that, like, you know, it's like when you
now, Kente, look, but this is funny. There's like a before and after effect, because before, you wouldn't have looked at him outside of the character that he played as him being that.
Right. right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
and that's actually who he is.
You know what's so crazy about it is it makes you wonder, like, did he see himself as that guy? Like, because well, he
was that guy.
Right. But like sometimes people are a certain way, but they don't see themselves as the way that they really actually are. Like in their mind, they're not that person, even though it's like, you ever work with somebody who's chronically late, but in their mind, they don't see themselves as a late person. They think they're on time. And you're like, how are you on time? We're supposed to be at work at 6 and you come in work at 7 almost, or 6:30. But in their mind, I come to work all the time because, maybe a handful.
You come to work all the time, just not on time.
Right. So some people don't realize who they are, like, or they don't, so it made me wonder, like, does this guy, like, does he realize he's that dude? Because if so,
some people are just slow and giving way too much credit for information that they don't know. Let that sink in for a second.
Oh no, yeah.
People are walking around here acting like they know shit and they don't. They don't know anything. They have been raising themselves and making bad decisions financially for years. And you know how I know? Because I was one of them people.
Right.
It wasn't until I hit rock bottom and I had to figure out shit quick and recognize that I'm getting older now. I cannot be worried about struggling later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just think it's a lot. It's a heavy what you call that? Unpacking. It's a heavy suitcase to unpack.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it's a good thing to bring up. What are people's responsibility in when you start talking with someone who may or may not be of a certain age that's not appropriate, right? And when I was like in my early 20s, like I would say like 22, 23, there were some situations where I met girls who at first said they were a certain age, and then you found out later that they were, underage, right? And, I really feel like, it's up to us guys to really do our due diligence, in that.
And be respectful and say, beautiful young lady, but she is untouched. I can't be the one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the one to do that.
But
your birth certificate, all of those things.
But we got to talk about a reality that when I was in junior high, and what age are you when you're like in 7th grade? What is that? Like, what are you like?
Like 12,
13?
12.
I remember most of the really cute girls were dating guys that were like in high school or even out of high school. I mean, it was pretty common. And a lot of girls I know, and I'm sure you guys too, lost their virginity to guys that were grown. They weren't. I'm not talking about.
No, we both didn't know what we was doing.
Right, and it's like it's such a common thing. And when you're a kid, when you're young, you don't see it as necessarily a bad thing. But now, when you get older, you're like, he was on some creep shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look back.
Yeah.
I was dating a high schooler in the 8th grade going to the 9th grade. Okay. So yeah. It's really interesting though. I don't know, like Dany, did you have when you were like in high school or whatever, what were your experiences with older guys or whatnot?
I didn't have any experiences with older guys. I was an athlete. I was attracted to the boys that play basketball and football, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I had crushes on I had crushes on athletes that were my age and in my grade. That older dudes wasn't even a thought. And then when I got out of high school and started like going out, and older guys would approach me, I would always be like, I don't think so. That's great. Because I was still young, and that was like off-putting to me, that someone more mature would want to talk to me. That wouldn't sit well with me. I don't know. It's just, I'll be like, you can't have somebody your age. You 38. Like, why you?
Yeah.
I'm clearly just, you know what I'm saying? I'm clearly 21.
I agree.
I don't even know how to get fucked up yet. So
now there's this thing called the age of consent, and then there's morality, right? So and it varies from state to state what the age of consent is. So you could be messing with someone as an adult, someone who's young, if they're past the age of consent, but then there's a whole moral component to it. Like, although legally you might not be breaking the law, but morally you're in like a kind of a weird gray area. So
who raised you? Right. You should know better.
Now,
who raised you? You should know better. If you were raised by parents that had good sound in mind, what the fuck is wrong with you? You weren't exposed to that or mistreated or for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? So the fuck is really going on?
So I want to play a game with you guys. All right.
Okay.
So just to set the parameters, the lowest age of consent, even in Mississippi, is 16, right? There's nothing under 16.
I thought it was 15.
I think some years back it was like 14 in like Alabama or something. But the lowest of any state in our union is 16. The highest is 18. So I'm going to name a state. I'm gonna name a state.
The highest is 18.
Huh?
You mean a majority?
What do you mean?
You mean a majority? Because you said the highest is 18. Do you mean of majority?
No, I'm saying the highest of any state
that considers
that the age of consent is 18. The youngest is 16.
So he wants us to guess what the age is of the state he's going to tell us.
Yeah, what do you think their consent?
But the reason why I'm asking for clarification is because you're not of majority until you're 19 in Nebraska. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Well, we're talking about like age of consent is basically you can have. Right.
Okay, so it doesn't go over 18. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I just making sure we was clarified.
And there's also another thing too, and I had a list. I actually had this list. I'm trying to find it because I thought I had it just pulled up. If not, we'll just go with the other thing that I have here. But there's also a thing where there's the age of consent, and then there's also like what how many years over you can be. So like if it's like 16, some places you could be 4 years over 16 and still be in compliance, right? But I can't find it, so we'll just go with just the age of consent. Okay, so Alabama, how old do you think the age of consent is in Alabama? What about you, Dany?
16.
In Alabama, I'm gonna say 16.
Yeah, 16 is right.
I got distracted with Uli under the bed, but go ahead.
Okay. How about Arizona?
Uli mad at me. Arizona, no, wait a minute. Arizona 17, I think.
Okay, it's 18. It's
18.
California.
18.
18. It is 18. All right. Let's see now. Nebraska.
16.
Okay. Let's see what Shannon says, and you can put it in the chat room too. What's Nebraska? What do you think it is, Shannon? Nebraska. Are you talking to us? Because you're on mute. If you are. 16. That is 16. 16. Okay, so now this one is interesting. Utah.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna go with 16, but I feel like they be doing stuff as young as 12. Don't judge me.
I was gonna say 15.
Okay, well,
15 is my final
actually
answer.
18. But check this
Wow.
out. But check this out. You can be 10 years older. So you could be 28 with the 18-year-old, or you could be 27 with the 17-year-old, or keep going down. So you can be 10 years older.
Okay.
You can be a decade. Uh-huh.
I have friends that live in Utah. They have different consent ages depending on your gender. I thought women it was 16. So there should be 2 answers for Utah.
Oh, it's funny. It only has that, but like I said, you could be 14, you could be 24 and marry a 14-year-old. So yeah, it's pretty creepy though.
Be 24 and marry a 14-year-old.
Yeah. So that's kind of
whoa.
All right, I got 2 more. New York.
18.
It's actually 17.
What?
Really?
Yeah, and then last but not least, Michigan.
18.
I'm gonna go with 16.
It is 16. It's 16. You know, most places are 16. 16 is,
I live in Michigan. I thought 18.
It's actually 16. Yeah. Most places are 16. Very few are 18 or even 17, but most places are 16. Wisconsin is 18. Virginia's 18, but like Ohio 16, North Carolina 16, Pennsylvania 16, South Carolina, South Carolina 16. Tennessee is at 18, which is surprising, and Texas is 17. But a lot I was surprised when I saw that list, like how many of the age of consent is down to 16, because in my mind it's 18 because California, and then I thought most places were 18. But actually 16 is the vast majority is the age of consent. But my thing is this. So that means you can be 16 in these places and be with a 40-something-year-old and it's legal, which is
that's crazy.
I know, man. That's crazy, man. And then, like I said, in some of these places, it can be a 5-year difference. So
okay.
So that means like anything under, as long as they're in that 5-year gap, it's legal. And
most of them,
well, 21 and up, they cougar material. So
yeah, well, my whole thing about it though is
I'm not affected by that age thing. So
my whole thing about the whole age of consent, and here I'll put it in the chat room so you guys. I'll put it in the chat room so if you guys want to see, if y'all want to see the list, y'all can do that right there. Hey, Ruby's in the house, Dolores and Ronald, and Tasha came in, and Kiana. So okay, my thing is this: I don't care what the age of consent is, right? Because you're in Michigan, right? If your homeboy is 40 and his girlfriend's 16, even if it's legal, you're gonna be looking at him sideways.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be looking at him sideways.
And he's like, "Hey, in the law says it's all right."
Oh man,
nobody care about that.
It's like the law says it's all right. It's like but question is too though, as a parent, as a brother, as a cousin, like even though let's say in the eyes of the law it's all right, how much responsibility would you feel to maybe step in there and it's your cousin who's 16 and her boyfriend 40 or whatever?
Oh, I would say something right away.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But I'm okay. But I'm a loud mouth though. Like if it don't feel right, I'm about to say something right on the spot. I'm not carrying nobody in no other room. We're not doing all that. What the fuck is going on? What's going on between y'all two?
I'm like,
is this something? Did I
this is? You show right.
I just missed something.
I wonder how that works though. Like if you're in one place where the age of consent is 16 and then you go to another state with that person on a vacation or something, then are you now breaking the law?
No, you're not breaking the law because you're not residents of that. Right. Mm-hmm. You're there visiting.
Oh, okay. So it's all right then.
Right, because you're married from another state that has a different law. doesn't mean you can't travel and live life because you got married in another state with different laws.
Mosaic says, I was worried my husband and I age difference. We are grown. He's 10 years younger than 10 years younger than her. Okay. All right.
Girl,
R. Kelly and Aaliyah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
But R. Kelly is a whole pedophile. So
but, I don't. My thing about it is,
look,
you have to say it.
If you're a grown, if you're an adult, I'm talking about a full grown adult in your 30s or whatever and above. What interest would you have in someone that's in that ballpark of age, even if it's legal, quote unquote, by the law? You have to question that person mentally.
Of course.
Like,
I mean, there's a difference between people being compatible just on GP. I mean, because there are cases where people are like, oh yeah, I'm 18 years so-and-so's junior, or he's 18 years my senior, and I'm like, what y'all got in common? There are some people that make sense together. Don't ask me why, but they just do. I've seen a few. They are the exception, not the rule. Everybody should not be dating people 18 years their junior.
Right.
Like, stop that. Cut it out.
It's really unfair. Cut it out. It's really unfair because it's like you lived a whole life and this person really hasn't experienced life.
But do you think it's motivated by finances or sexual gain?
On which side?
Motivated by a lot of things.
Like, are you saying, is she motivated from financial?
You're right.
I would hope so.
And he's motivated by
some old men like that.
No,
they find girls for them.
Because I'm a true believer. And the reason why I bring that up is because there's such a gap in between those years. Y'all grew up in different times. Like, the music was different. Like, I come from a generation where R&B were love songs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't about getting in between your legs and making you wet and fucking you on the wall. And you know what I'm saying? It was about a man that really loved a woman. So I just feel like, the music that these kids are playing, I can't get with. So even though I have a young face and I attract younger guys, if I get in his car and he bumping some
little
dumbass yuck. and I don't mind trap music, but on my time, when I'm working out, cleaning the house, when I'm doing something where I want a little music where I could be like, hey, but I'm not about to be thumping that shit in my car, pulling up on my kids, and pulling up to the grocery store.
I used to date someone 17 years older than me.
But you're the old soul, though.
I mean, I would say we just happen to have a lot in common, but it's not commonplace. That's not what I flock to. We just happen to make sense. So
I don't know. Some of the younger guys I've dated,
I remember,
not really dated, but I just kept company or spend time with, if you will. Like, it wasn't really a relationship. We would just spend time, watch a movie or whatever, get some food.
I remember one time I
just feel like that gap, those years.
Man, I can't do it. Younger than me,
it makes it hard to connect.
Younger than me, you got 2 or 3 years. That's it. After that, I'm done.
Whoa, you ain't got that much for me. I lose interest way too quick. I know right away if I'm not, and then 2 or 3 years lines of communication are going to diminish.
Years age difference, Dany, not time.
I'm not about to waste my time.
No, not time. 2 or 3 years age difference under me. Oh, honey, I'm not giving nobody.
Oh, I thought you was allowing somebody that long a time. Oh, okay.
Let me tell you something.
I follow you.
You got 2 or 3. You got 2 or 3 months, okay? And if you ain't got it together,
I think I could do 10 years young or 10 years older.
I can't do 2 years.
You know what? This is the interesting thing about when you have conversations with younger people.
I really wish I could see what's saying. They talking.
Wait, it says Robert says that was how I felt, and I apparently do not sound my age. I had never heard that before. Mosaic says, my husband is the first younger man and he's very mature, and it surprised her.
That's a good thing.
And I was saying though that sometimes
it is a good thing because they're out there. It's just not a lot
to younger people. Sometimes they can make you feel so old. I remember I was having a conversation with a girl in her early 20s, and it was something that Ice Cube got brought up. Right now, people our age Ice Cube's a rapper to us. I mean, he does movies and stuff, but the first way we know about Ice Cube is the rapper, right? So I was bringing up Ice Cube, and it was something in Dr. Dre, and I was talking about, how they were in a group together. This was before the movie Straight Outta Compton came out, and she was like, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, they were in a group together, and I'm like, yeah, NWA. She was like, what is that? And I was like, you never heard of NWA? And I literally explained how Ice Cube and Dr. Dre first got their start together in a group. And she was so blown away. It was like I had told her about, some major thing. And then she literally
about Jesus rising.
She literally called her phone. She literally called her homegirl up and said, did you know Ice Cube and Dr. Dre were in a group together back in the day? And I'm sitting there like, am I that old? Like what the oh my God. It made me feel so old because it was like, duh, yeah.
It makes me feel, it's a lot of stuff that make me feel old. It is a lot of stuff that be making me feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? I got that chemo brain sometimes. My ass.
Oh, her friend was blown.
Did I just see that?
Her friend.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Oh,
now
my other favorite thing is with young people is
when they back in the day, when they talk about 2000.
Yeah, or when they think you're older,
when they say
they think you're older than you are. So then they'll ask you about like JFK, and I'm like, I went here.
Right.
Like that's way before me. Like they don't have a concept of time, so they don't realize they think everything is just old. So you were there too for that. Or
especially little kids will ask me, well, what were you here when they did the civil rights? Like, are you
like no?
You know what year that was?
I read a book. I read it in a book. Like I remember there was this girl. She was like one of those. You ever meet these kids that are obsessed with the 90s? Right? They're like obsessed with it. And I remember this. It was this one girl. She was wearing like cross colors. Right? And I was like, what do you know about cross colors? And she was like, oh, I love the 90s. It's like the greatest. I wish I was there during the. You're from the 90s. Tell me about it. Like I'm from Victorian England or something. She went through
the time zone. The whole.
She's like, tell me what it was like. Did you see Tupac in concert? And she's like, what? She's like, literally, like you know how your grandparents, you're like, what was the Depression like? Like literally, that's how she's talking to me about the 90s. She wants me to tell her about what it was like in the 90s and how awesome it was and the fashion. And I'm sitting there like, this is not like the Great Depression. Like what? Yeah, this is, yeah, it made me feel pretty old. But so I don't know how some of these guys want to, like, those conversations would drive me nuts to be dating someone or involved with somebody and having these kind of conversations or this kind of disconnect. So you have to question somebody, even when we're talking about from a legal sense, why they would want to be with someone who is not nowhere close to their age. And I don't know, man. Like, I would definitely say something if a guy I knew was in that kind of a relationship, and if it was like my daughter or my niece or my cousin, I might have to lay hands on somebody for that, like that's on some real creep shit.
Well, I guess it depends on what your commonalities are. Because I joke with my friend girl all the time. I was like, I'm at this age where I could date the son or the father, and I was trying to date her father, but I'm not going to do that. So we're gonna leave that thing alone. But yeah, you be surprised at what you have in common with some people. Well, especially when it's important things. once you get past a certain age.
Absolutely.
But see, though, okay,
Everybody
but I'm
has
talking
a
about
story.
when you get to that creep age of like 16, 18, like that's what I mean.
Oh, no, we don't jump right past the age of majority, because if I have to talk to somebody that young, there's a problem.
Right, there's something wrong.
And see, like I said, my mindset just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I was an athlete at 16. I was trying to get to the game. I was trying to decide on what I was gonna wear at the pool party that Emily was having. You know what I'm saying? Like
together for Saturday.
Man, my mind just wasn't on none of that growing up. Like I was all about life and living and being on a team and participating, and that was my shit at 16 years old. But you know, times are different. Like I said, it's just a different times. You know, these kids, a 2-year-old can flip and program an iPhone.
I mean, and people
hand a 2-year-old an iPhone, and I bet money they'll learn how to turn it on, probably unlock your shit, play some games, download some apps. Like all of that. These little kids know how to operate these smartphones like it ain't nothing.
You know, there's
our dumbasses was taking naps. Our dumbasses was taking naps in kindergarten.
I was pretty good at taking my nap at kindergarten.
I'm still good at
when I was
right. They doing math in kindergarten now. they doing the math in kindergarten now that we was doing in the 3rd grade.
You know, the actor.
Kids are smart, but they crazy. These kids crazy. But you know what I can say about the Black Lives Matter movement? The millennials been representing. I'm not even about to hold y'all up. The millennials, these younger groups of people, well, I think that they just recognize that it's a whole bunch of old crotchety, angry, bitter people that were taught hate. And they sick of that shit because these younger millennials, they all different flavors. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are biracial. You have the homosexual community. You have the what was the other? I just lost thought.
I don't know. I was distracted by
that's his edible
comment.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Dre's wife filed for divorce.
Didn't have no idea.
And she about to get that bag too.
But yeah, the millennial.
I'm not mad at her.
Hell
your bag,
nah.
sis.
You should beat her with the bag.
Get your bag, sis. You know why I'm gonna say that? Because I'm about to tell you right now, Dr. Dre, he looked like he was a mean ass husband. She probably earned every dollar of that money.
Girl.
I think he's a great guy.
She gonna get that money and she gonna write a tell-all book, and she about to tell all the secrets. Watch. Yeah. Hear me when I say. Hear me when I say. Watch it be a book come out after this divorce. Bet money. Who want to put money? We can all drop our cash apps and lay some money down right now. I can't tell the time frame, but I'm thinking if the divorce happens anytime soon, I'm gonna bet money 2 years flat.
I believe it. Yeah, she about to get super paid. She waited until he got all that. Yeah, he made that billion or whatever, and now she's about to. She about to forget about Dre.
Yep. That man is abusive. That man is abusive, and not only that, it's been documented that he was abusive. Misha Lay talked about how abusive he was. Baby mama, the first kid, talked about how abusive he was. They even displayed some of that in the movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they had a whole Lifetime movie about it.
So that nigga was mean. He was mean, and she need to get that money because he probably was abusive to her for the 4 years.
Unfortunate.
Get in his pocket, sis.
That's a
I don't know.
Happy ending.
No, it is, but to have to go through all that.
I'm seeing people comment. I want to see. Lord, I need to get some glasses. Give me some old lady.
She deserves it. I don't know, man. She deserves it. I gotta get more information about that. She deserves it.
Right, Mosaic is in agreement. That man got boo.
Really deserves
that woman. That woman is not gonna. That woman is not gonna affect that woman is not going to affect
Yeah.
that man's bag.
But what she really deserved was marriage. What she really deserved was somebody who had her back and didn't put his hands on her.
I don't
what
think
she
she abused
deserved
her.
was faithful consideration.
She earned it. She had to be with him
In
for
the
24
lap of
years.
luxury.
She took care of his children. So what? That was 24 years of her life. That's 24 years of her life. She could have did something else. She didn't have to be his wife and sit in his house, which I'm sure he had her sitting at that house. I bet you she couldn't do shit. I bet money she couldn't do shit. Hey, wait, I bet you I could write that book without even knowing now.
She didn't live in fear. She didn't live in fear. Mature don't mean anything. It didn't mean anything than why she married him in the first place. Before that, she was married to a basketball player.
Because she didn't know what she was signing up for.
I don't have a lot of sympathy for
signing up for. Not in that regard. She thought she was signing up into some money, and she was smart not to sign that prenup. She didn't know how long that shit was gonna last, but she held on for 4 years.
Sadale 3 was an NBA player.
I can't even twerk, and I'm gonna twerk for her.
Okay.
For nobody.
Get that money.
She was with a NBA player before.
I can't do it no way, Shannon.
Girl, me
I be
neither.
trying.
We was in the car.
I don't know.
I'll be stupid in the mirror. I be trying. Like I like when I'm by myself. Like I'm trying to do it right now. When I'm sitting down. There's something about the knees. I need to watch a tutorial.
Okay.
Sorry, Kente was trying to talk. Go ahead, Kente.
Okay. There's nothing that said that he beat his wife. From what I've always read was he was abusive to the women before his wife. So that's what.
So he because he got
abusive to one. He abusive to all. He's an abusive nigga.
I don't know that.
Oh, you know.
I don't know that.
I know that.
Of course, I don't agree with abusing women. That's wrong.
I know that. He doesn't even look nice.
Nah,
show me a picture of him smiling.
That's not true. There's people that change.
Send me a picture of him smiling. He's a genuine
when
smile.
When you're in a group called NWA, you don't smile.
And send it to me.
If you're on Death Row Records, you don't smile.
No, he's mean.
Anyway, so
he just has a lot of money, and he's brilliant.
No, he's
you can't take away his talent, but it doesn't mean that he wasn't an
Nicole
asshole.
Young said it is over.
Nicole Young said well.
It is over.
It is over. The marriage.
The marriage.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know they.
Yeah. That's
well, you know they say he liked the pipe anyway. If you know what I mean.
But you know what? It's been a tumultuous time, and I know
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know if she was smart. She'd have did a Shawnee. She'd have did a Shawnee.
Like
Shawnee on his ass.
A tumultuous 11 years.
Have her some
he's
bread.
LGBTQ.
What?
Talk about Dr. Dre. They say he like dudes.
They said that in the movie. It's always been insinuated that
whoever he want to be, he about to be a divorced man. If he wants to date men, let him date men. If he wants to date little women, let him date little women. If he wants to date little people, let him date little.
Let him live his life. Let Dr. Dre live his life. He's put his time in. He's worked hard. He's earned every dollar that he has. But his wife deserves half.
He is worth $770.
No, don't deserve half. Don't deserve half.
Half. Give me money, Eddie.
That's why.
What have you done for me lately?
Women sign prenups because they think they entitled to your money. They think they entitled to your money. But you know what, bro?
They are entitled to it because when y'all get married, Kente, when y'all get married,
why is it when Mary J. Blige got a divorce and her husband was getting his fair share, then all of a sudden he was a bunch of assholes?
Because he was a con and Mary fell for the okie doke, and bless her heart, she just wanted to be loved, and that man took advantage of that woman.
How you know?
Because he knew her heart was tender, and he gonna get his from that. No, the world knew that Mary wanted love and deserved a good man, and she thought she found one because Mary had been through some shit with that nigga from Jodeci. He had doped her up, beat her up, pimped her out. She had all kinds of stories about what he did to her. That girl was broken. You can hear it through Mary's music. What are you talking about, Kente?
Music.
Who?
I forgot.
No, Casey?
No, Dr. J.
I'm Mary J. Blige husband wasn't the singer.
I'm talking about Dr. Dre.
Well, that's irrelevant. I'm talking about the husband that took all the money. He was just taking advantage of her. He knew what the fuck he was doing. I'm about to bag Mary J. I'm not doing shit. I can get spousal support just by being supportive. Just by being supportive for a couple years. Then I can bounce and do me, and I'm gonna get her back. That was his whole mindset from jump. Ain't nothing good gonna come to that man. No, I tell you that right now.
When a guy does it, he's the worst thing in the world. But when a woman does it, go ahead, girl, get the bag. Right.
No, women do it too. Women do it too. I'm not excusing women from being wrong, but I'm saying in that situation, with that scenario, that man was wrong for targeting Mary and making her believe that he really genuinely loved her and that he was going to be with her through thick and thin. The woman was getting help and everything. She wanted to fix her life and she didn't need that bullshit from him.
Honestly, I feel
he took her to the bank.
I feel like we don't give enough. She deserves some critique herself for being so silly. For being silly.
Been getting critiqued forever.
If he was that bad, why didn't she pick up on it earlier?
Because she was naive. She thought she was in love. That don't matter. That's women fall for that shit every fucking day, Kente. What you talking about?
And you act like it's impossible.
Women think men are invested in them if they show them attention. They're giving them their time. They rubbing some backs. They going to dinner. They making love, right? They putting it down in the bedroom. They doing everything that you want them to do, and you expect the woman to not catch any feelings for him. You're gonna think that there's gonna be no development of a connection there. I mean, come on now.
I don't feel
this is shit you should already know.
She should have looked at it. She should have been more diligent in her process.
Well, I can't say that I totally feel sorry because Mary should have protected her shit. But at the same time, I understand how she felt that she could trust and love that man and that she believed he felt the same way about her. It wasn't like he wasn't flossing her around. He was showing Mary off. He was doing all the things that Mary needed him to do to gain his trust. That's what's there's a diagnosis for that. What is that?
Like
what is he? What is he? Drop it in the inbox. What is he? Is he a sociopath?
No.
Is he a narcissist? What is he?
Tell me, girl.
How do you know that it wasn't real in the beginning, but something changed? Maybe he didn't. But how do you know
I don't think he was genuine. I don't think he was genuine because he went for her money. He went for a lot of it too. Like he didn't just try to get enough to get himself on his feet, buy him a little house so that he can get a job and maintain it. No, he wanted to live the rest of his life off of Mary's dime. Fuck other women, do whatever he want to do off of Mary's dime. That is not that. There's malice behind that.
It's the same to me.
No, that's not the same situation. Mary and that man was not married that long. Mary had no children with that man. 13 years. There were no children in between them, except for his daughter. I think he had children. Not the same situation, Kente. You can't match them two. You can't match them two up and get an equal number. It's not going to work out.
What's his name? What's the guy's name? I'm gonna do a t-shirt. I'm gonna make a t-shirt with that.
It's different scenarios.
Oh man,
you are bugging.
Kenduku. What the hell is it? Kendu. I don't even know who he is. I'm just talking shit. But oh man, y'all funny. But no, that's interesting though. I feel like to be honest with you, though, look, when you decide who you're gonna be with, try to make sure it's someone that actually cares about you, like actually really f's with you. That is somebody. Country Boy Jones says, I just think relationships are meant to last nowadays. Are meant to last nowadays. I think he probably meant it differently.
It's hard to find though, Kente.
Yeah, it is hard to find. But I think, you know why though? I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why it's so hard to find is because us as human beings, we're trash. All right, a lot of us are trash. We have trash thoughts. Our thought processes, the way that we view other people is from a selfish point of view. We always look for people to serve us, and we don't ever look to serve our mates. And to be honest with you, the reason why con people, you know why cons work is because they prey on your insecurities, your the things about you that are not right. So that's how cons are able to work, like those Nigerian scams and stuff like that. Is basically they work off of your greed. And I think the reason why we have such hard times is the process that we use to evaluate who we want to get involved with is flawed, deeply flawed. A lot of times there are situations where we are totally 100% duped. Jesus, might not have picked up on it, right? But 9 times out of 10, it ain't that deep. Like, we just was dumb, to be honest with you, keeping it 100. So I don't know, man. I really don't know the situation. I'm just talking trash. But about Kenduku or whatever his name is. Huh?
Did you just
I don't remember what his name is. I really don't follow it. But I just know this much just to, I just remembered all the outrage about him getting money off of Mary J. Blige. He says people aren't built the same. People out for personal gains. That's from Country Boy Jones. That's what's up.
It's true, because that's what I thought about when Jill Scott was getting divorced, because her husband had 7 kids. She married a man with 7 children. But I remember she talked about it at one of her concerts, and I was like, "Oh, sis, I hope y'all stay together."
The person she just married has 7 kids. Oh wow! Yeah. She said Jill dipped out,
and it's not just like, yeah. I was like, ew, nope, ain't gonna be able to do it. I love you from a distance because you got too many kids.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids. That is a lot of kids. Are kids a Are you okay with a guy with kids, Shannon?
I do. Today.
Oh, you wouldn't date a guy who has children?
I would have maybe a month ago, but
really?
Now.
Really? What's up, Goldie? What about you, Danny? You don't mind, right? If a guy has kids?
Yeah, I don't really like kids. I would
prefer
that he doesn't.
Kids. Speak the word, Danny.
If he has grown children and they're like not involved very much, that would be fine.
Yeah, it's grown children that be in your.
That's just too much. That's just too much extra.
Wow.
The one,
and I'm not.
The ones you give the keys to, and they come over when y'all in the kitchen doing things other than cooking.
What
and
if? Okay, this is the thing, though. We talked about this once before, but sometimes, because you don't meet the kids right away, and then when you meet them and the kids, you just don't like them. You don't like. I'm talking about even if they're little, because you cannot like little kids. Some little kids are jerks. So
yeah, I've bumped into a couple of kids that were really well mannered.
Yeah.
And kudos to the parents, because the parents are doing like a really good job. I don't want to babysit them or like hang out with them.
I don't like people's children like that. Now I love kids. There's a difference, but I don't like.
Yeah, like I would be nice to people's kids and offer them candy and snacks. Can somebody pick them up in a little while?
For real. Like, I love the ages that I like the most are babies. And once they start talking,
Country Boy says, D, I think he's talking about you. D is right. Damn all them children.
Man, I do not have time for it, and I just have to say I don't want to dance around it. I just want to let you know how I feel.
Are you okay
inside.
with a guy, Danny? I know Shannon's answer to this. Who's do you know? Are you okay with a guy who's heavily into the church?
Yeah, I am okay with a guy that's heavily into church, because I love the Lord too, and he probably could teach me some things.
Say it again. Say it again, girl.
You know what I'm saying? He could teach me some things. But am I about to make potato salad every Sunday and Wednesday? No.
No.
Am I about to host the all ladies bus ride to Chicago to go shopping? Absolutely.
What about
not.
this guy though? This guy, you're like, you come to him and you're like, Brenda on my job is getting on my nerves, and you're just venting, right, about your day at work. And then he's like, well, in 3 Timothy, it says that, he's one of those guys that got a scripture for for everything, and he's.
It depends on the day. Some receive that. I might receive that scripture well. We might be able to talk about it, but there might be a day that I'm not for that shit. And if he don't know how to pick up on the signs, I might snap out on him. He gonna have to learn me enough to know what the signs are.
Natasha said there is no 3 Timothy. Hilarious. He's like, yeah, and the well, but Peter was facing a similar, it's like I don't care about no Peter right now.
Right.
Brendan's on my damn nerves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't do it, Kente. The older I'm getting, the less patient I am.
Amen to that.
I'm just not patient anymore. I'm not gonna try to learn how to be patient anymore. I've done all that. I've lived long enough that I feel like I've done my stint of being patient.
Only thing I'm gonna be patient with is while I cook my dinner. That's about it.
And really, I'm trying to cook what would come up quick, what I can make fast. Yeah. Because I don't have patience with long-term meals.
I'm gonna saute some stuff, or I'll put it in the crock pot and go to work.
Sometimes
be like,
I could do something like that. I could definitely do that, but I'm not about to cook 7 fresh courses.
Well, when you do, girl,
Country Boy Jones says, ain't no man gonna get with D anyway. She hardcore.
I know, right? I said I am not gonna find no man because they all scared of me. They think I'm about to talk about them on stage.
They need to be scared.
They just don't know. If I find the right one, he gonna be so spoiled. All the men gonna be jealous of my boo because I'm gonna spoil him in front of everybody.
Show up for him, then, girl. I'm here for that.
But I ain't found him yet.
What happened, Danny? Uli is not gonna let.
He do have to be a strong man, though.
Uli gonna be like, "No, that's my mama."
He can't be shorter than me, or else I'm gonna feel like I could beat his ass. He gotta be, he gotta be bigger than me. Because if I feel like I can fight him, if I feel like I can beat him in a fist fight, it's not gonna work out.
Look, I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm not a short guy. But there's some of the toughest dudes I know are short guys, though.
No, it wasn't that they were tough. It was that they had the Napoleon complex. They wasn't afraid. But a lot of times, if they saw that through, I've seen a lot of little niggas get their asses whooped. I'm just saying, they talked a good game though. Like I thought I was about to see a good ass fight.
Good ass fights,
but shit did not jump like that. It did not work out in his favor, and I had to turn away so he didn't see me laughing. You know what I'm saying?
So talking about good ass fights, have y'all been seeing these compilations of these racist people getting worked? Oh my god, dude! There's some funny videos, especially the Karen sagas, where these
Man, the Karen's been getting checked left and right.
Oh my God. There was one video. There was this one video I saw, and it was this brother. He was 16 years old. It was in Texas, and some racist white guy was harassing him at a gas station. And then they just start fighting. And mind you, it's a 16-year-old black kid going against a grown-ass man, right? And they fighting. And then somehow that brother got picked him up and body slammed him and put his ass out. I was like, dang, man. I mean, it's some crazy videos. And then there's that one where it's the one in that, I think it's a 7-Eleven or something. Did y'all see that one? Where that woman is calling her the N-word.
Oh, with
yeah.
The store
my God, man. It's crazy, dude. I'm like, this ain't the time, y'all. This ain't the time.
It was a look, let me just say this. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I feel like a lot of this shit needs to be done and said.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is ridiculous. And you know, we have always been the bigger people, which I feel like has been our problem most of the time. It's us rising above shit all the time. You know, it takes some of us to have to cluck the fuck out for the rest of us in order for them to see that we're serious, because they don't have no problems doing whatever they want to us.
So let me just say right now, let me shout out to the 3 Karens in my life. Aunt Karen, the peach cobbler connoisseur, Mama Karen, and Cousin Karen. Because I got 3 Karens in my life that I will fight over.
Okay. And I'm here for it, because I know it's some good Karens out there. Why, it was a meme out there. This girl was like, why all the crazy white people that's videotaping everybody gotta be Karen? Why couldn't they be Amy?
And I was gonna put a Karen on a t-shirt, like, don't be a Karen. And my mom was like, that's not nice. Your aunt's name is Karen. I said, yeah, I could put in parentheses unless you are Aunt Karen, the woman who makes my peach cobbler. But
that's gotta suck when your name becomes like,
when your name is
right, Becky.
I mean, think about it, Becky.
Yeah, I got one.
I mean, and Becky got used in several different ways, from a term of endearment to Becky with the
good hair.
Good head.
What about Felicia?
So Becky done been all across the board.
Felicia's. Brenda's. What about who? Brenda's got a baby. Brenda's got a big old butt. Brenda's
Brenda was the only Brenda you heard about.
Yeah.
So when you hear Brenda, you think of Brenda had a baby. That's it.
Brenda's got a big old butt.
But everybody's a Susan. Everybody's a Becky. Everybody's a Linda. They're catchphrases for all those people.
So Shannon and Dany though is pretty safe. I don't see that in the future. I know Kente ain't never gonna be one. So
I mean, say don't be ashamed.
But both of you guys have unisex names too, so it could be male or female. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are statistically more women named Shannon.
Yeah, definitely. I think naming Shannon's not.
And there's actually men named Danielle, just in other countries.
Yep.
Danielle is a male's name in other countries.
My name. Yeah. So.
Do you know what your name means?
Mine is Gaelic, a little wise one, or Italian, a river flowing southwestward into the Atlantic. It's an Italian river.
My name was Warrior. So that's what it means, warrior.
Warrior. Mine is God is my judge.
All right.
Yeah, okay, some Gambia. You know, I feel like if I have kids, like they're definitely gonna have Afrocentric names, because I couldn't see myself for like here's Michael, here's Bobby or anything like that. I feel like I couldn't do it. I couldn't have like little Anglo names, and especially like those kind of cheeseball corny names. I couldn't do it. It has to be some kind of African name. But it's so funny when I say that, people be like, what kind of African name is it going to be? Like, like they are. It's. Thank you.
There's a lot of dope African names that we never even
think it's
heard.
Going to be some, crazy stuff.
One that somebody's gonna be looking on the roster saying,
yeah, because I hear names from other countries and I'd be like, I actually thought it was a Spanish name because I knew a dog named Uli growing up, and they were Hispanic. They were the Lozada family. So I just thought Uli was a Spanish name. But no, it's a Hawaiian name, and it means will kill if preyed upon.
I like those African dialects and stuff. You know, like I like to hear them talk, especially the one with the clicks and the pops. I forgot what they're called. Wait, what's that called?
The one with the Swahili.
That one. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
you guys never heard that before?
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
I thought them was just.
No,
I thought
that's
them was
like
signals, not the language.
Whatever, right? It's I think the one language is Kosa.
Yeah,
it's a Southern African. I said this the other day.
I'm not sure what that language is. But that would be like a phonetic language, like how Asian languages are.
Zulu use clicking.
If that's the case, because,
Zulu uses.
You know what? You know what I would love to hear is a phone sex line, but where they're talking and the clicking and the stuff. Because I just want to sound. How do you sound like? How do you talk dirty to your woman in that language? That'd be.
They probably sound They probably sound kind of manly too.
Like this. What's wrong with you?
With the clicks in the.
You come on. You
I don't know. Like
you would.
Piece of paper. I can't. How many clicks there were?
I can't even wrap my mind around how that could possibly.
No, you don't know. You might be like, ooh.
I know. I just messed it up. I don't know if I would be attracted to that. Like I would probably.
I'm sure it sounds sexy to them, right? Yeah, is that the?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he'd be clicking his tongue and
what if you accidentally
clicking his tongue?
What if you had like some peanut butter?
That might be exciting. I don't know.
Like trying to get it out, and then you accidentally said something dirty to one of them.
Well, don't kiss me because our mouths is about to be dry as fuck if I'm eating peanut butter. We about to have peanut butter, cotton mouth. trying to do it.
You know, I love about Shannon. She be clutching those imaginary pearls, man. You are, oh man.
Especially when I'm on, because she don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth.
So you.
What's happening?
The wholesome and the cut up.
She's got the hard
angel,
candy
and I'm
purse,
over here.
you got the hard candy in your purse for the kids at church. The hard candy in the purse.
I got some
for the what?
I got some hard candy. I don't carry purses. I hate.
No, because I'm not. No, because I'm not going to church. I'm a heathen right now. I'm a heathen right now. Lord, forgive me.
Right now, no one's going to church. Like church is on Facebook.
But the Lord know I love him because I talk to him all the time. I pray all the time. I believe in him. I speak his name. I encourage other people to love him and accept his love.
You know what gets me though?
I'm good. I wouldn't be doing as well as I am if the Lord didn't love me, and he knows I love him. Like
it's people who pray.
He know I'm all about him. Flat out, I'm all about the Lord. That's why I could date a man that's in the church. Like I said, I could learn something.
He heard my
cry. Love the Lord. Exactly.
Every groan. Hallelujah.
And my little tainted heart be needing some spiritual upliftment. You know
the thing that gets
for real.
The thing that gets me is when people pray before things that you shouldn't pray before, like pray that you don't get caught cheating, or pray before you do like a crime or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, I've seen it.
You be praying for that.
I was like, you know some weird people.
That's like, Lord,
they better
please,
question what Lord they praying to. They better question who they praying to, because you don't be presenting that kind of stuff. That's that's the kind of stuff you ask for forgiveness for, and you're not even supposed to be doing in the first
that's another
place.
thing, though. When you knowingly do something wrong and then you ask for forgiveness right after, that's kind of cheap.
But look, let me tell you something. I try to speak up hitting this Powerball. I've been trying to speak up hitting this Powerball for 2 years now. Okay. But I just feel like I'm not about to be giving up my life to play the lottery.
No.
Like, I could put it out there, and I'm not gonna pray to my Father for the money. I'm praying for abundance. I'm praying for financial freedom. If it's the Powerball or if it's some other source, I know that I'm gonna be financially free one day. But I'm not sitting here banking my life and putting myself in jeopardy over no damn Powerball ticket.
If you hit the lottery,
if it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
If you hit
Otherwise,
the lottery,
it's meant to happen another way. And I got some shit up my sleeve, sister trying to get it together. I'm trying to take me some trips and sip on me some mimosas at 11 o'clock, eating fresh fruit and shit.
You can have all of my mimosas. I just want the fresh fruit.
I want the mimosas. I want the fresh fruit. I want the sun on my skin early in the morning. I want Uli to have him a little brother or sister one day.
I'll send you.
And I'm gonna get him a girl, and I'm gonna name her Honey Redwine.
Honey Redwine.
She gonna be a honey. So those are my plans.
If you hit the lottery, big.
Don't mind me. I think I would do. That's probably all I would do. I just buy me a house and travel.
Yep, that'd be great. And then I could come over to her house and she can make these 7-course meals, and we can have wine on the back porch.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be one of them rich people that you're not gonna know they rich. Like, I'm still gonna get, when I travel, I'm gonna get Airbnbs. I'm not about to be trying to buy houses here and there and have a house. I don't want houses everywhere. I want to be able to move around. I'm still gonna be going to Old Navy because I be needing them 3 for $12 V-neck t-shirts.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna shop at your local grocery store. I might get bougie and get organic though. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
I might bougie up my produce a little bit. But
unless it's from certain places, I found that certain places organic.
You know what I want?
I'm talking about the legit.
I want to live in.
Yeah. Talking about farmers markets and shit like that.
I would want to live in.
I know it's coming straight from a farm.
I like that. A live-in chef.
A live-in chef.
You don't even have to have a live-in chef. There's a lot of people that have like services. Like my girl T Barb, she cooks people's meals because they want to become vegan but don't know how to cook. So they just pay her to cook.
Yep.
She cooks 5 meals a day for them to eat.
Oh wow!
And they provide their other meals, but it's their main.
I just like
meal.
the idea of whenever I want. This snap.
But what if she there to cook for you, but she start bringing her homeboys over and they smoking weed in the basement and you know what I'm saying, blasting the baby in the house.
I'll
and
get an
playing
old lady
Fortnite until 4 in the morning.
Like all the party days is over. She just wants a
Oh, so then she inviting her girlfriend. Oh, so then she's inviting her girlfriend over, and they eating cheese and crackers and drinking wine and sitting up watching what's his name? Taylor. Tyler Perry movies.
I'm gonna go to Senegal and I'm gonna find some lady and leave her homies back. So all she will have is, she just read her books, and then it's time to that'd be good.
See there, that ain't right. That's just as bad as saying I'm gonna have a little Asian come and clean up my house and fry my rice.
I'm gonna take her great, though.
You can't say that.
No, I'm gonna take her all around the world. She's gonna be like, I'm gonna treat her great. She's gonna be that's gonna be good slavery. She's gonna. No, she's gonna love it. She's gonna be like, she's gonna tell me every day, every other day. She's gonna be like,
And if she's older, she's gonna be playing bingo with her girlfriends.
And I hope you do get one. I hope you get the one that's been watching Misery her whole life, and she just jack your feet up, and you be stuck in the bed, and you
no, she'll
nowhere.
love it. Honestly, I'm a great boss, so she's gonna be like, you treat me so good, Mr. Kente.
No, whoever.
He said, "Mr. you treat me so good, Mr. Kente."
You know what? I was just talking about that. Some people, when they put Mr. in your first name, it does sound like they're slave, though. It's like, no, don't call me that. I don't like that. Yeah. If somebody say, Miss Dany, is it okay? Well, Miss Redwine is your last name, but Miss Dany sounds like,
has a great too.
That they want to go back to the quarters.
Yeah, I've never. That's my first time hearing Miss Dany.
If I turn in for the night, Miss Dany,
it does sound kind of weird.
Sound? I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, Mr. Kente. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It just sounds.
I know. I can see my girl Mosaic I can see her name. Word. I need some cougar pot.
You know what? Wait a minute. No, I want a Jamaican.
When is there a town hall meeting?
I want a Jamaican chef.
No, you don't.
No, because I love Jamaican food.
What did you learn?
Just get that authentic Jamaican food. Fine. Come on, man.
I think I would just want somebody that knows how to cook all Caribbean food. Because the Haitians eat good food too, and so do the Dominicans.
See, I'll be good though. I'm gonna give her. I'll get her a nice little car so she can go to the grocery store and get whatever. I'll make sure it's like she got a nice SUV, so that you can put a lot of groceries in there, and she can do whatever she wants, as long as she's back.
You want to have a big booty?
No, I see that. No, I don't want her to be attractive. No, I don't want her attractive.
She don't have to have a big booty and edges.
I want her old.
At least edges. I mean,
no, I want her old. I don't want.
You don't want her to have no edges.
She's clearly here for work.
She smell like medicated Vaseline.
Come on now, that's balling. Just think about it. Like if you're in the mood for cheesecake or something, she can make it from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just want some croquettes, some grits, Wow. What are edges?
So good with rice and cabbage,
with some eggs,
with some rice and some cabbage,
and all you got to do is
some tomato on the side.
Come on now, Medicaid.
I think I'm gonna make.
What did he say? Hey, Luke said, "What are edges?" Edges. Luke. Okay, for edges, right I don't think white people really have edges. White people don't really have edges. Edges is like the hair around your hairline. You see that little bit of hair that's laying down? That's baby hair. I'm a cougar, but I got baby hair. So, but I got edges though. Edges is when you have a little bit of hair on the sides that you can lay down. If it was bald and there was no hair there, your edges were snatched by some traumatic event or hereditary, I guess. So that's the quick summary of edges.
But then, do you have time for a relationship right now? I mean, time for a relationship. I'm not talking about COVID. But I'm just saying, if all things were fine, would you even have time for it? You're a busy woman, right? You work a lot.
I don't have time. It would have to take a special individual to understand my lifestyle because I'm a busy woman. I mean, I'm always available. People know I'm not laid up with no boo because you could call me any time of the night and I'm gonna answer the phone and there's no one in the bed with me except for Uli now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a boo, so I just keep myself busy. I got enough shit going on. I think I would be a terrible girlfriend right now. Like right now, I don't think it would be good timing.
Sorry, guys.
So,
sorry guys, I know
going
it's
to
a
be
bunch of
good
guys that are
timing.
crying
I
right
don't.
now because of that. So, but you know, yeah,
They are not. As many dudes that give me compliments,
really.
I don't get flirted with like that. Like they like my pictures. They tell me I'm beautiful. They give me compliments. You know, I've had a couple come at me, but again, like I still feel like I probably wouldn't
That's
be
a
a
whole
good
word right
girlfriend
there.
right
That
now.
they flirt, they say you cute or whatever, you attractive, you fine, and then it's be like, and now what?
I don't know, but Shannon
Yeah.
gives off kind of like maybe she's not, even though she'll say that she's single and she's ready to mingle, but you do kind of give off of maybe you're not necessarily available.
Maybe not.
Mm.
I think people think that about me too, but I don't see that in Shannon. Shannon seems like she's
Shannon?
way more approachable than I
Shannon,
am.
you're not approachable.
Yeah. Shannon has a nice face, a good smile. She's inviting.
You smile in public.
Like she just has an inviting spirit.
Okay.
I mean, but I usually have a mask on in public current day.
Oh,
So,
I mean, like before COVID, were you smiling?
I mean, yeah, of course. Didn't I used to tell you how I be in Home Depot? And people were like, you have a
beautiful. I don't think I've ever not seen Shannon.
They'd be like,
smile.
you have a beautiful smile. Somebody even said to me, your man must really love coming home to you. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You know, maybe a lot of guys think you're taken.
Well, closed mouths don't get fed.
All right, so one thing I want to leave
off. Don't get head.
One thing I want to leave off before we say goodbye. In my neighborhood, I live in West LA. Yeah, I heard that. She said a closed mouth don't get fed.
I said closed mouths don't get fed, just like closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm. I live in West LA, in the city, the heart of the city, right? And I told a story the other day about it's been weeks about this possum that chased me, and but apparently there's coyotes in our area, and they've been roaming around. It's so funny because people have been taking pictures and sharing the pictures of these coyotes that are in our area, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's not like I live up in the in the mountains or something like that, but the wildlife is getting kind of crazy out here. So one of my neighbors said that the other night he came in and he was about to, he smoked a cigarette or whatever, and then he saw the coyotes creeping around the neighborhood. So I don't know. I've never experienced coyotes roaming around the neighborhood. I hear in Chicago they have a big thing with coyotes. He said I saw one trot down my street, and I don't know. Like, has anyone ever had an encounter with one? I hear that pretty much they won't mess with you as long as like from what I understand is they won't mess with you unless they have to engage with you. That pretty much they try to stay away. Has anyone ever had an encounter with it? No. What about you, Shannon? What's like, you're in Florida, so what are the things that like kind of roam around where you at?
Lizards, geckos,
snakes,
chickens, roosters, scorpions, alligators.
Which one have you ever had a snake encounter?
Yeah. You don't pay attention to nothing that I post. I had a snake in a cup at work.
Get out of here. No, I didn't know about that.
See, y'all, Exhibit A. My co-hosts don't care nothing about me.
I don't like.
I didn't pick up a scorpion with some tongs at work and threw it outside. I let the snake go.
You done missed all the stories, Kente.
It was a scorpion laying eggs on the counter at the house when I used to live in my old house. and then she fed it to the chicken.
Mm-hmm. Are you squeamish about that kind of stuff?
For what?
If you were living with your man,
between trying to catch rats and picking up dead birds in the front yard, and
so you're not the kind that would be like, and your man has to come in and kill.
The only thing I be worried about is things that crawl on my skin. So I don't do gnats and flies and roaches and all those things. Like I have some stories. The roach in my armpit in Honduras. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Y'all have no idea. My old employer used to call me the bug whisperer. I was like, listen.
I was at a restaurant years ago, and my father was still alive. It was me and my father, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, it was a Spanish restaurant, and all of a sudden, this gigantic roach just starts crawling up the wall, and we were like,
the worst roaches are in Texas. They used to fly, and I'd be like, oh my
god. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They fly in Georgia too.
They fly in the Caribbean too. Oh man, snakes though. I ain't gonna lie, man. Snakes.
Oh damn, do they?
Don't ask me.
I have a bug show.
I ain't mess with no snakes.
We could have a bug show for real.
I'm not messing with no bugs.
I don't mess with a bug. I mean, but a snake though.
Swarming termites in Florida is the worst thing ever for me. So
I don't want anything to do with that. That doesn't sound like
they've been swarming pretty heavy the last couple of months.
It's funny though. It's funny though. I know people like that are from like the Midwest and the South.
Ridiculous in Georgia. Maya, y'all got a lot of trees and shit in Georgia. That's why
trees is
there's a lot of foliage.
Like I'm really
in Georgia. Georgia, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to ride through there and see
I know people like from the Midwest and the South.
All the mountains.
And it's so funny how like that kind of stuff, they're just like, they seem to love it, you know, like, oh, it's a tarantula, and they like, playing with it and stuff.
Yeah, I used to stay in Georgia, Maya. Shout out to College Park.
Okay. Wait, you're there, aren't you? You're in college, aren't you?
I'm not in College Park, but nearby, I suppose.
Where are you at? I was in Fulton County. You in DeKalb County?
Other side of Woodstock.
Yeah, I'm
all right, so we've reached the end. Okay. Dany, how can we get you? How do we get you in social media and all that great stuff?
Dany Redwine on Facebook, and Dany DANY_Redwine on Instagram, and I just made it over 4,000 followers. Yay! So please follow. I post a lot of funny videos, but I'm trying to get some attention to my page so I can start implementing my own content on there. I'm trying to trick motherfuckers to watch my shit because it's hard to go viral. So that's my plan. That's my strategy. Gotta play chess, not checkers, right? But go follow me on Instagram, and I do Snapchat, but I'm not real snappy. And that's Dany _Redwine.
Is it bad that I suck at chess and checkers? So,
you know what? I kind of got checkers a little bit, but chess, I'm not. I'm too impatient to be strategic. Like I'm just gonna go this way and figure it out. Yeah, and I'm great at landing on my feet.
How can we get you in social media and all that great stuff? You weren't on yesterday, right?
No, I did not. I had some stuff going on yesterday, so I'm sorry for anyone that was waiting for Sunday Live. It didn't happen, but I got you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What time?
I don't know. It's gonna be a surprise pop-up. We got stuff to do, so whenever I have free time tomorrow,
okay,
it'll be after 11, but before 7 p.m.
All right.
I can commit to. And real quick, happy birthday, Finn, Mr. Christian Goodnight. Uh, so celebrating you,
Happy birthday.
Kings, on the show tonight. I wanted to say happy birthday. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Shannon Ford, like the president, hyphen Jefferson, like the president. I would love more followers on Instagram. I am not as popular as Miss Dany Redwine over here. I think I have like
I feel like I'll be
342
cheating, so don't feel
followers.
bad, Shannon.
But let me just tell y'all right now, because people ask me this all the time, why I only follow 99 people. Because I've had this thing about I have 99 loves and you are one, so I will never go over 99. If I got to delete somebody to add you, I'll do that. But you'll probably never see that number go over 99. But I do have 4 Instagram pages. So it depends on what part of my life you want to be involved in. So, yeah, check me out.
All right. And you can get me at Kente
then.
F on Twitter, Kente Ferguson on Instagram. And of course, the website is indyradio.org. That's INDY radio.org. And I'll probably stream sometime this week. I think me and Ryan is going to do something this week in the streaming some point or whatever. So we'll find out. But with that said, you guys have a great rest of your week and God bless you.
Bye.
You too.
Have a good night.
Good night. Thanks for watching.